Comic Boom.
Hi guys, Comic Boom here to review Wonder Woman issue 756. Wonder Woman's battle against Paula Van Gunther, the War Master, continues while Donna Troy fights Armageddon and devastation while Genocide tries to break into the portal that leads to Themyscira. Wow. Surprisingly, with all that happening, this comic book is not very exciting. It kind of wraps up, well, it doesn't wrap up. There's going to be one more final issue, but all these incredibly powerful, superhuman, super villains, and Wonder Woman hasn't really fought one of them yet. Wonder Woman still has only fought War Master, and it looks like she's never going to fight Devastation. She's never going to fight Armageddon, because Donna Troy very handily defeats Devastation and Armageddon with her lasso of persuasion. Yeah. Should I have given a spoiler warning? I mean, if something is so ridiculously underwhelming, should I give a spoiler warning? Well, I've decided not to. So, apologies? I'm just kidding. I'm not really apologizing. It is what it is. This comic book has... Steve Orlando, I said before, he's got such great big ideas, and I love his ideas here, but man, I wish he could really flush this out. It is really disappointing that Donna Troy, of all people, using her lasso of persuasion, defeats Devastation and Armageddon. Now, I just want to... in this comic, not really a lot happens. It moves from point A to point B, and when I say that not a lot happens, what I really mean to say is it's underwhelming. That's really what I really mean to say. So something happens. I mean, Devastation and Armageddon, they get defeated, but in the most underwhelming way possible, because their wills are defeated. Because Donna Troy takes her lasso of persuasion, and she somehow can... I don't know. I've never really understood it. Somehow, we got to talk about the lassos here, okay? I've said before, Wonder Woman's lasso is a lasso of truth. And for some really dumb reason, they've come up with the concept that now when Wonder Woman has her lasso of truth, she can wrap her lasso around somebody and then suddenly have a conversation with that person in another realm, sort of like within the lasso. And they can discover truths while they're having a conversation within the otherworldly realm of the magic lasso. Well, with Donna Troy's lasso of persuasion, it's a little different, because in the lasso of persuasion, it's a battle of wills. So whichever will is stronger is going to win. And no one's ever defeated Donna Troy within the lasso of persuasion. Now, apparently, Donna Troy, last issue, she manages to suck in Armageddon and Devastation within her lasso, and they have they actually fight in her lasso, but her will is stronger, and so she doesn't really... I don't really understand that. I don't know who determines whose will is stronger. I mean, really, does anybody who knows anything about genocide... If you know anything about Armageddon, if you know anything about Devastation, there's no way that Donna Troy's will is stronger than theirs. I mean, that's probably about even. I mean, that's the whole point and fun of good versus bad. Their wills are the same. The willpower is essentially the same. I mean, it's a battle of willpower. Willpower doesn't win the day. Thinking, intelligence wins the day. Strategy wins the day. You can defeat somebody and have very little willpower. Heck, you can defeat somebody sitting on the couch watching TV. You can designate and say, hey, somebody else beat this person up. You don't need willpower. But whatever, I digress. Donna Troy defeats Devastation and Armageddon with willpower. How? I don't really know. Just willpower. It's that, it's sort of like it's one of those little Deus Ex Machina sort of things. It's like, well, I'll just say this character has more willpower than that character, and therefore they're defeated. So how does Donna Troy defeat Devastation and Armageddon within the lasso of persuasion? She just kind of does. And it's just stated that she does, and apparently they just, I don't know, I guess they just surrender because of, they surrender, or they just sort of like mentally collapse, or it's not really made clear how you defeat somebody by defeating their wills. Do they just give up in a fit of depression and saying, oh my God, I just realized I have no willpower. You defeated me, Donna Troy. Oh my God. That's kind of what happens here. So Donna Troy defeats them. And I don't know, when she defeats them within the lasso of persuasion, it's more of a psychological defeat, I think. and then their bodies in the real world, she must, I don't know, none of this is artistically shown, so that's another fault. The artist here is fantastic. Jesus Marino does a fantastic job. The art's fantastic. I'm just really unclear as to what exactly happens to the bodies of Donna Troy's villain or opponents when she defeats them with her lasso of persuasion. And again, I have to reiterate, what a boring way to defeat an opponent. Remember how often I bitch about the magic lasso? When Wonder Woman uses the magic lasso defeating enemies by wrapping her magic lasso around them, and they suddenly get on their knees and they're defeated and they surrender because they realize the truth is that they've been losers their whole life. What a boring way to end a battle. Well, now add Donna Troy to the mix because we have another boring way to end a battle. And surprise, surprise, it's another Wonder Woman, because now they're Wonder Women, Diana and Donna Troy. Diana and Donna Troy, Wonder Women. One boringly defeats villains with a magic lasso, and the other one boringly defeats villains with a lasso of persuasion. Great. I'd much rather prefer you hit something. Fortunately, there are some fisticuffs in this comic book. Wonder Woman was stabbed just under the shoulder last issue by Paula von Gunther, and she rips it out, and there's a good battle here. Again, beautifully illustrated by Jesus Marino, and the colors are so bright and vibrant. Fajardo Jr. does a fantastic job on that. And there's even a variant cover here by Mikkel Janin, which is really great. Mikkel Janin's going to be the artist for Mariko Tamaka. She's going to be the new writer, writing a Maxwell Lord arc. Presumably, it was originally timed to lead into the Wonder Woman movie, but in any event, this is. I was hoping for a little bit more. I'm criticizing the plot a little bit here, but again, it's fun to read and it's beautifully drawn. It's just frustrating because you know that I rant a lot about Wonder Woman, and that's one of my rants and my pet peeves. Too much magic lasso nonsense, too much supplication, and here we have Donna Troy with the lasso of persuasion. It didn't really work for me. Now, meanwhile, Wonder Woman just has a protracted, long conversation with Paula von Gunther. And Wonder Woman, again, another complaint I have, she apologizes to Paula von Gunther for not, I guess, not being a nice enough person, for not being honest with Paula von Gunther and telling her that her parents were slimeball Nazis when she was younger and trying to save her from that harsh truth. I don't know if Wonder Woman really needs to apologize for that. Even Donna Troy says to Wonder Woman at some point, I was angry with you too. Even Donna Troy was angry at Wonder Woman for Wonder Woman not telling Donna Troy that, by the way, you were created out of clay to be a psychopath to come and kill me. Wonder Woman should probably take a lesson from all this and say, Wonder Woman, the next time somebody tries to kill you, and you wrap your lasso around them and defeat them, or you supplicate yourself and get on your knees in front of them and you beg them to give up, and they do, and then you rehabilitate them. Maybe the first thing you should tell them before you start rehabilitating them is make sure they remember that they were villains and that you're being a nice person, so that when they grow up, they suddenly don't get all filled with revenge and hatred and suddenly decide to become supervillains themselves. I'm just putting that out there. And I want that to happen because I'm really tired of this being a plot point in a Wonder Woman comic book. Enough with the villains, and they're all psychotic women. Can you believe that? There's all these women that have these, women don't get along with each other in this comic book. I don't know. I guess it makes for good drama. Is that why there's no men in this comic? It's hard to find a good man in this comic. It really is. In fact, June is lack of good men in Wonder Woman comic month. It's lack of good men in a Wonder Woman comic book month. Let's take a moment of silence and think about that. The lack of good men in a Wonder Woman comic. Let's take a moment and just reflect on that, all right? With this paid advertisement. Thank you. So now we're back after that moment of silence. Now, I had a whole segment here talking about the men in this comic. I'm just kidding, I didn't, obviously. There's no men in this comic. But man, there's a lot of angry women. And of course, there's women on Themyscira. Themyscira, they're keeping an eye on this portal. And they're seeing that genocide is attacking Aztec, trying to get into the portal. And we know that next issue it's going to be Wonder Woman and Donna Troy fighting Paula von Gunther, Devastation, Armageddon, genocide, in this one big massive battle. And how is it all going to wrap up? I don't know. But you know what I found interesting about this? As a quick side note, I actually enjoyed the reference to Amazonium. When they showed a scene of the Amazons having their council, it actually, one of them actually mentions and brings up the subject of Amazonium and its resources and uses, which I find interesting because that could be a possible lead-in to death metal. I'm not sure, but I sort of like the little allusion there. But in any event, I don't really have a lot to say about this other than a little bit of a rant. I enjoyed this. You know, I like Steve Orlando taking the chances he did. I wish he would have had a little bit more time in this title, I think, to maybe explore some of the characters, particularly Armageddon. I don't know a lot about Armageddon. I know a little bit enough to know that Armageddon is a kick-ass villain, but I'd sure like him to have had time to more develop those characters. But I like the fact that Steve Orlando uses the toys in the play box, or uses the sand in the sand cat, whatever you know what I'm saying. He likes to use the characters that he has in his stories. I just wish he had more time to flush them out here. I'm looking forward to the next issue to see how everything wraps up. I know it's going to be very convenient already because it looks like Devastation. Pardon me. It looks like it looks like Devastation and Armageddon have been taken off the playing field already by Donna Troy. Very underwhelming. But in any event, we'll see how this goes. Great cover here by Robson Rucka, I believe. Or, yeah, I think that's Robson Rucka. And penciler of Vicente Cifuentes is the inker. And Romulo Fergiuti Jr. is the colorist. And, yeah, Robson Rucka, Danny Meeke, and Brad Anderson do the cover. Mikel Janin does the variant cover. Overall, I don't mind this comic. I don't mind it at all. Guys, tell me what you think of Wonder Woman 756. I ranted and raved. And, well, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. And until next time, stay safe and Comic Boom out.